So what do you think about that? Okay, let me put this up so I don't freak you out. Can you even see that? No. Okay, hold on. Oh, can somebody grab the light, please? Hope you enjoyed that video. That's just on YouTube. You can search it and find it. Okay. Did you know that that works? Have you ever done that before? All the time? Probably should talk to him about that. That's a little strange. But you see why I said I had a 0% chance of affording that? Okay. So, but even if we go by the experiment that is described in this worksheet, it's still pretty expensive, right? So it says a physics class hypothesized that dropping more Mentos into the bottle would create a higher soda stream. Okay, the class conducted an experiment with several packages of the candy and ate 2-liter bottles of soda. So what do you notice about the results? Yeah, that's a really good observation. The more Mentos, the higher it got. Any other observations? There's question marks. What happened? They either lost the data. It says right below it, they accidentally knocked over their Coke bottles. Their teacher was like, you guys had one job. One job. Okay, so no data is available for those entries though. So we want to make a scatter plot of the data. Okay. Well, if we're making a scatter plot of the data, do you guys remember how to make a scatter plot of the data? Can I remind you? Okay, so turn your calculator on. Create a new document. The new document that we want to create is a list and spreadsheet. Okay, it's a list and spreadsheet. So when I create a list and spreadsheet, it looks like this, yes? Okay. Now, this is going to be a little difficult for me to go back and forth. We'll probably only do it a couple times, just so it doesn't get too confusing. Okay, but let's start at the very top. All right, using your cursor, you can use your arrows over here on the side. You can go to the very top. Right? What should go in that first column? Yeah, because if we look at, let's see if I can do this. If we look at our table, the thing that's at the top of the table is the number of Mentos. That's typically our X values, right, across the top of the table. Does it make sense that the number of Mentos determines the height of the spray? Yeah, so that's our independent variable. That's going to be our number of Mentos. Okay? So what do you want to put up here? No. It's a title, remember? Number of Mentos. You want to type all those words in there, or can we just put Mentos? Now, could we just put X? Yeah, but it's a word problem. Let's make it mean something to us. Okay? M-E-N-T. Am I the only one that has a hard time typing when the letters are not in keyboard order? Yes. I am the only one? Oh, okay. I was like, dang, I thought there was other people. Okay, there really is other people. Okay. Okay, so what's going to go in this column? 1, enter. 2, enter. 3, enter. 4, enter. Are we going to put 5? We don't, we have an X value 5, but yeah, we don't have the entire data point, right? So do we put 5? Nah, 6, enter. 8, enter. For the same reason, right? Okay, so let's go over to the other column and all the way up. What are we going to put in this column? We're going to call it height, aren't we? Okay, H-E-I-G-H-T. Down. So in this column, we're going to put 6, 11, 14, 16, Yeah, because we skipped 5 and 7, so we're not even going to worry about those, are we? Okay. Now, I know that you are intelligent people, most of you, and I know you could probably figure out the numbers that go there, right? I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm saying we got to figure it out mathematically. Is that fair? Okay. So, after we get all of our data in, we're going to go back to our calculator and hit Control Dock. It's on the top left-hand side of your calculator of the keys. Control Dock adds a new page. The new type of page that we want is a data and statistics page. Okay so far? Now, I would be willing to bet money, although I don't do that. Okay? I'd be willing to bet money that yours does not look like mine. It doesn't, right? Because all the calculator did at this point was like throw up a bunch of dots. Okay? And ours probably got put up there differently. We need them to look the same, though. How are we going to make them look the same? Yeah, we need to actually identify our axes, don't we? Okay, so we can use our cursor to go either the top or the side first. I like to go to the bottom. I said top, but I meant bottom, sorry. To click to add the, because I know which variable goes there. Which variable goes there? Our x value. So our x value is our Mentos, right? So I choose Mentos. Oh, did you see them move? That's so exciting. They did. Okay. And then what happens on the y-axis? I need it to be height. Okay? So the first thing I need to do is decide, what does this even look like? Like, what shape is this? Is it a line? It's more of a curve, right? So what kind of parent function best fits this curve? Square root, right? There's like 3 different ways you can know that. First of all, you could look at it and tell, because you remember what the parent function looks like. Second of all, you already wrote down your lesson plans where it says today we'll explore applications of square root functions. Okay, so hopefully you would figure out that it's square root. Or you could look right underneath the data where it says which characteristics of the graph indicate that a square root function might be a good model for the data. Using your resources, right? Okay, so we got to figure out. Problem number 1 on the worksheet says let the rule for h of x, it can be written in the form h of x equals a square root of x, where a is a constant. So we got to figure out that a. Now here's the deal. That's what the worksheet said, but that's not where we can only go today. Okay? I don't mind if you add a k in there. You know, in our transformations, what does a k do? Shifts it up or down. That's perfect. Okay, so it would be really nice if I could just do a regression of this, wouldn't it? That would be super easy. Okay, so menu, analyze, regression. Which one do I choose? It's not linear. It's a parabola? Okay, so I can't choose that. Okay. Power is like an exponent. Nope. Sinusoidal is for not this. Nope. Nope. It's none of them. It doesn't have one. Okay? So what we have to do instead is we have to choose plot function. Okay? You guys like this a whole lot less because look what it's asking for. Yep. It's not going to give us the function it's asking. Which one do you want me to graph? And we're like, dang it, I want you to graph the function. Except it's not going to give it that. Okay? We have to tell it which one to graph. So let's start with this. Let's start. You don't go here yet. Just watch for a moment. Okay? Let's start with the square root of x. Because that's what we're saying the parent function is, right? So if I say enter, well, it must be broken, right? That's our first reaction always. It's broken. Guys, if this is 20 and this is 14 and this is 8, is this 0? No, it's not. If this is 8 and this is 14, how is it counting? 2. So this would be 6 and this would be 4. So it's not 0. So can we see the origin? No, we can't even see where it starts. So what could I do to be able to see this? I can add an A or I can add a K. Which one do you want me to add? A K. So what am I going to add? Plus 4? Yep. Now I can see it. Is this a really good representation of this data? Not even close, right? Okay. So I'm going to have to start, let's see, maybe if because it looks steeper than this one is, right? So that means an A value. So what if I made it be 2? Okay. What if I made it be 6? Well, that's better, but now it's 2 up there. So plus 2. Okay, so now it's lower, but it's not steep enough, right? So guys, what are we doing right now? We are guessing. Oh my gosh, your math teacher is telling you to guess? Guys, sometimes that's what we have to do. Sometimes that's what we have to do. Okay? So here's what I want you to do. Okay? The rest of it is up to you. All right? The rest of it is up to you. Number 1 says find the equation, basically. Okay? Word for word, it says find A. But we know, I've told you, I've given you permission to have an A and a K if you wish. Okay? Once you find that equation, let me see if I can do this real quick. Hold on. Once you find that equation for number 1, that gives you the equation for the whole entire back, for all the questions on the back of the page. All right? So if you want to, and let me suggest that you do want to, after you get your equation for number 1, just come show it to me real quick. Because that was part of the problem earlier, is they just kind of went with an equation. They went with it, and it was wrong. Okay? So just come and show it to me. Here's the thing. I need to caution some of you. Caution some of you strongly. Strongly. Okay? Those of you with a touch of OCD, there is not one exact right answer for this. Okay? Both classes already that have done this worksheet, in each class, not one group had exactly the same answer for their equation. Now, they were really close. Really close. Okay? But nobody had exactly the same equation. It's going to be your opinion. What is the closest to all of these points? Guys, this is real life data. Okay? This was, according to what it says in the worksheet, kids taking measurements. It's not a computer taking exact measurements. It's kids taking measurements as best as they can. Kids and adults can mess up, right? We're not going to be exactly perfect. And that's what happens in the real world, doesn't it? Okay? So there's not going to be one exact equation for this. You're going to get close. All right? But come and show me what the equation is, and then go on to number 2 and on the back. Okay? But real quick, let's talk. Oh, I'm going to be kind of picky about number 1. Okay? I don't want you to just put a whole number there and go on. Okay? For number 1, I want you to have at least 2 decimal places on number 1 for A. I really want you to try to get real close. Okay? Got to have at least 2 decimal places for A. Is everybody okay with that? Okay? Then, when we look at number 2, what are you trying to find for number 2?
The value if it's x, or the x is 5 and x is 7.
So what value are you looking for if you already know x? You're looking for y. Or in this case, h of x, right? Because it gave it to us as a function. H of x is what you're looking for. So you're looking for the height. So should your answer be 12? What should your answer be? 12 feet, right? Now, you're going to solve an equation and get an answer of 12. But then you need to write the answer that answers the question, which would be 12 feet. Okay? So actually, when you get your answer, it might be 12.3642. then my answer is going to be, you could put 12 feet, right? You could go to 1 decimal place after feet. You could even go to 2 decimal places for feet. But at this point for us, at this level, does 12.3426 feet make any sense? Not really. Okay, 12 and a half feet, 12 and a quarter feet, that makes sense. Anything less than that doesn't really make sense to us. Okay, so think about, does it make sense when you're trying to write your answer? Okay, what about number 3? What are we looking for? Again, we're looking for height. Okay, so the difference is with the 5 and the 7, that was inside of our data, right? We could know if that was kind of right or wrong based on the data on either side of those. But what about number 3? It's asking for 10. That's really a prediction, right? For the record, that's a pretty higher order thinking skill to have, is prediction. Okay? What about number 4? How is number 4 different? We're looking for the number of mentos, first of all, and it's asking for an inequality. So you got to be careful with that. Okay? And number 5, also asking for number of mentos, but then it has some questions after that that are going to require your answer being in sentences, aren't they? Do you think it's reasonable? Why or why not? Okay? So make sure you're labeling your answers because these are word problems. It's asking for something specific, not just a number. Okay, and then make sure you're answering, especially number 5, in a sentence because it's asking, is it reasonable? Why or why not? Okay. Any questions?